Surfacing is a welding process for coating steel with an alloy that resists wear or corrosion. It also includes building up surfaces that have been worn to increase their life. Surfacing is often applied to new parts as well, for the same reason. Sometimes the new part is allowed to wear a little before the surfacing is applied. Badly worn parts can be saved from the scrap heap by building up the worn area with a build-up type electrode. Parts that do not need machining may be used as built-up or surfaced with a harder material. The electrodes used for build-up produce tough material which will resist shock loading from heavy blows. It can be applied in any thickness required. The electrodes used for surfacing produce a very hard material that will withstand wear but not shock loads. They can usually be applied only 1 to 3 layers thick. Electrodes are available in a range that varies from tough to hard. In the middle range, the material has some of the hardness and some of the toughness. Manufacturers of surfacing electrodes provide excellent information to assist in selection and use of the correct material or combination of materials. A typical example of one use is on the bucket or dipper of a shovel, backhoe, or dragline. The wearing surface of these items is subject to heavy blows as well as abrasion. Let us assume that we have found that the material is manganese steel. The recommended build-up material for this application would be selected from the tough range. An AWS class EFE-MNA electrode will deposit a relatively soft alloy that will work harden to the necessary hardness to resist abrasion. Work hardening means that as the surface of the metals is hit or peened, it becomes harder in the area where it is hit. Each time the surface is hit by a rock, it becomes harder at that point. Finally, the entire surface becomes quite hard. The tough material underneath supports the surface and absorbs the heavy blows. As an example of an application that needs wear resistance but little impact resistance, we will use the lip of a sand conveyor bucket. 1 or 2 layers of surfacing with an AWS class EFE5B electrode will produce a very hard surface that will increase the life several times. A single layer of the hard material is somewhat mixed in with the base metal, which reduces the possible hardness. A second layer is used when maximum hardness is needed. A third layer may be used with some materials. However, there is more tendency for cracking and flaking off in use. The small cracks that appear in some surfacing usually cause no trouble because they are only in the surface material. A good welder should have no trouble mastering the process. A good surfacing weld should have complete fusion with as little penetration into the base metal as possible. Surfacing is also done with oxyacetylene, usually on thinner parts that can easily be brought up to temperature. This is an important process to learn. It can produce large dollar savings in several types of industry.